Today on the podcast, I have Kelsey Bryant. Kelsey is a clinical exercise physiologist committed to helping Christian women dominate their health. With more than 10 years of experience, she has worked at one of the top hospitals in the world and persevered through many fitness trends. She offers physical and spiritual training for busy Christian women. Kelsey believes there's no one size fits all approach to losing weight and getting healthier because health is individual, just like the fingerprints God gave you. True health is achieved through the alignment of body, soul, and spirit. Combining science and biblical truth creates a manageable blueprint for long lasting health. She is the host of Fit Christian Woman, the podcast. And in this, FIT stands for fun, inspirational, and transformative. She encourages women to conquer their health so they can live out their God given purpose. You can listen to her podcast, Fit Christian Woman, on Apple or Spotify. They keep telling us to enjoy it while they're young, but our days are filled with chaos and stress and cooking and endless laundry piles. Where's the time to enjoy anything? Yeah, that's what I always thought too. There's so much I have to do. When do I find time for peace and joy and happiness when I barely have time to sleep? Mama, it's time for a shift. You can be a happy mom. Yeah, it's possible. If I can, you can. Trust me. I've been a mess. I've been depressed. I've been overwhelmed. I've been to the bottom of the pits. And I've risen. I've grown. I've bloomed. And it all started when I realized I didn't have to anything. I get to. It is my privilege and my honor and my divine responsibility to be the queen of my home. It's not a burden. I'm not the janitor and the lunch lady. I'm in charge. I'm the ruler. I'm the chaos coordinator. I'm the calm in the storm. I don't have to anything. I get to. And so do you. So let's rise, mamas. Adjust your crown. Accept your responsibility. And change the effing world. It's all in the way you choose to see it. You're listening to I Get To, the podcast with Brittany Clarkson. That's me. Hello, friends. Welcome to the episode. Today I have on Kelsey Bryant. She's going to be helping us learn how to live a more healthy lifestyle without overcomplicating. Kelsey, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us about you.
Hi, thanks, Brittany. Thanks so much for having me. I am Kelsey Bryant. I'm a clinical exercise physiologist, and those big words just mean that I have a master's degree in everything surrounding exercise and fitness. I host the podcast, the Fit Christian Woman podcast, and I'm super excited to just kind of blend really health from body, soul, and spirit. I've enjoyed it. I've been in this setting for more than 10 years. I'm a pilates instructor, and I've been working at a hospital, and currently now I just help coach Christian women how to really become fit all the way through.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I didn't realize you had a master's in it. That is incredible.
Yeah, not a lot of people know, like, you can have a master's in exercise, but yep, that's the thing.
Right. Well, plus so many people out there teach things in the fitness realm that don't have any kind of certifications at all. I'm a good example of that. I actually used to be a dance teacher, a dance coach, and I like coach some of those like dance fitness classes, but like I didn't have any certification to do that.
Yeah, it can get a little tricky. And that's why I like to kind of bring it in and bring that real world experience. Not only do I have knowledge, but just also like the real world, helping clients and whatnot, and bridging it together to really make it work for everyone.
That is awesome. Okay. So for my mamas who have not been working on fitness in a while, like I've been out of it for a while. Like I stretched last night for the first time in a long time, and it was almost embarrassing. So for those who've gotten busy with life or have never made it a priority, like why should we be making regular exercise a priority?
Yeah, I think that you hit it on the nose when you said like you've been out of it for a while, or just that we get busy. We get so busy taking care of everyone else, and especially if we have young children that need us so often. It's like, I don't have the energy or the time to get this in, and it easily falls to the wayside. But if that's you and you used to exercise, I want you to take a moment to kind of like think back to how you felt when you regularly exercised. And if you've never really regularly exercised, even just thinking back to a time where you maybe were able to take more walks or just had some more movement in your life, and thinking about like how good it made you feel. Because yes, there's so many benefits, not only for like weight loss, if that's one of your goals, but really exercise makes you feel so much better because it aids you in so many ways. So if you are stressed, mama, or if you feel like you just can't add anything else to your plate, I really think making exercise a priority is a must, because it will, I know it sounds silly, but if you take that time, it's going to aid you in lowering your stress levels, and it's going to aid you in because it pretty much is like a self-care thing, but it's like a necessity too, because we have to be so physical and our bodies continue to move for the rest of our lives. So we really have to kind of step back and think, how important is this and why should I add it in?
I like that perspective there. That just like shined a light in this corner of my brain that had forgotten how I felt when I was, like taking silks classes and showing up for myself physically. It's easy
Yeah.
to forget how that made you feel versus how you
Yeah.
feel when you're not intentionally moving.
Yes. Besides, you know, it really does. And that's why I want to kind of remind some mamas of it, because that can be motivation in itself, because we are so busy. And if we're starting to get aches and pains as we're getting out of bed, or as we're picking up all the toys, on the floor and whatnot, remembering that, hey, this body has to serve you for the rest of your life. And even with young children, if you're still, because having children is like a younger age set, right? Like we're not middle aged and we're not elderly yet. So it's so important to kind of start a routine that you enjoy and that you can maintain now, because your 80-year-old self will thank you when you can still reach up and put the plates in the cupboard. So I really try to look at it as like, if you're starting something now, it's meant to serve you for all of your life. So switching your mindset, making it a priority, it is not only going to make you feel great now, but your future self is also going to thank you for making it a priority.
Right. Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
All right. But how do we find the motivation to actually do the exercising?
Yeah. I think that that's a really great question. And many people have that and have a problem keeping it. So I want to kind of give a little bit of grace in this too. And I want your listeners and many women to think like exercise and healthy lifestyle is not really like an all or nothing. So many times we hear about the fad diets and we have to do it exactly this way, or we have to kind of go in and do diet and exercise if we want to lose this weight. And we feel really committed. And almost like if it's not done A, B, and C, then it's not worth doing. And that's just not really correct. Health can be individual, and it is individual, and it needs to serve you in every stage of life. So trying to take the mindset of it not being so restricted in that it has to look a certain way is really freeing, and allows you to kind of create health in your own way that meets your lifestyle right now.
I missed a little bit of that because my kid was distracting me.
That's okay. And then if you want to jump into, you said like, how do we motivate ourselves? So kind of giving grace and letting that kind of guide you, so it's not really all or nothing. And then stepping into motivation too is finding a way to make it fun or make it something that you're looking forward to. If you don't like to run, then don't plan a mile run every morning, because you're not going to show up for yourself because you don't like it. So picking something that you do like, for me, it's strength training. I can go in, get a great workout in 30 to 40 minutes, and then be done and on with the rest of my day. So finding something that you really enjoy will also help with the motivation. So giving yourself grace and knowing that it can kind of shift and grow with you, and then finding something you really enjoy is how to stay motivated.
I love that, giving yourself grace in it. I've been recently applying that in so many new little areas throughout my day. Like recently with scrubbing the shower, like giving myself grace and realizing like it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to do the whole thing right now. I can just do some of it every time I'm in the bathroom, and it's going to get better and it's going to get easier.
Yes.
Totally applies to exercise. Like you don't have to do a full, get sweaty workout to start getting in the habit of intentionally moving yourself.
You're exactly right. That is spot on. Taking something that you enjoy and getting it into your day or into your week, into your calendar, and then reflecting on how it's making you feel, showing up for yourself, taking that time, is really one of the first steps to making it a habit.
Awesome. Okay. And how do we take this new habit and work it into our regular routines?
I think besides finding something that you definitely enjoy, and then when you kind of pull back, or if you pull out of your week and look at it that way, is finding the time of that works really for you. Are you better in the morning, or is the morning time not good if you're getting ready for school? And right now it's summertime, so more mamas might have free time then. But I love exercising in the morning, but I can't do it before I send my daughter off to school because there's too much going on, and I would have to wake up really early, and I prioritize sleep as well. So it's after she's gone, and then I just have my one little one that works. That's the best time frame for me. So kind of taking that aerial view of your schedule and looking at, hey, when would work for not only me and what I enjoy, but for my family too. And then there's some days that need to be flexible. And even if you've, dedicated a certain time in the morning, but a doctor's appointment comes up, or the kids need something, or they're homesick, either it becomes a different time during that day, and that's okay. Like you don't have to throw in the towel if it just didn't line up and happen. Just like you mentioned about grace and doing it that way, that's a great way to approach it as you put it in your schedule too. But you have to change your mindset and definitely dedicate a time of like, hey, this is important to me. This is going to be a priority.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I recently heard, what is it? Like breaking your day into chunks so that a bad morning doesn't mean you've had a bad day. Like just because you didn't get the morning workout in doesn't mean the whole day has to be thrown off and, tossed in the trash. Like you can still do it another time or do it tomorrow, and just why stress over it?
Yeah, I love that. I like that idea because it just kind of gives us permission to like reset our day. Like, like if the morning, the kids, threw up and then or had a blowout in their diaper and you had to change them. Now you're late for the appointment. But then like come lunch and everybody sits down, like you can reset for the rest of the day. And I think that is just like a perfect mindset to have going into honestly motherhood, right? Like it just becomes a lot that we always have to handle and manage all the time. It's like it can be chaotic at different times and depending on how many children you have. So yes, making sure that this is not, diet and exercise are not meant to be one more thing on your plate, right? Like God never intended it for it to be like so overwhelming or something that like controls our thoughts and stifles our spirit. It's meant to just be an aid to help us along our path. And when we neglect it, that's where we really fall into trouble. We can gain weight, we can get sick, we can end up in the hospital, and we can mentally just break down too. So when we've neglected it, we're really kind of just shunning it away. And most of the time, it's not that people want to neglect it. They just need the idea and the permission of how to make it work for their current lifestyle, because they do know the benefits and they do know how it makes them feel.
Right. What's coming to mind with all that is is like the whole, we tend to put things like on the back burner that are supposed to be our top priority, and we get everything backwards. And a lot of
Yes.
cases, like I remember growing up hearing so many people, they'd be like, well, we'll find a church when we get to this point, or like, I'll start giving time to devotional once I get this done. And it's like, you're supposed to actually seek God first and everything else falls into place.
Absolutely.
Adding in working out shouldn't be the last thing on, your self-care sort of situation here. Because when you are taking care of yourself by working out, the whole rest of your health tends to fall into place better, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you've hit kind of two birds there. When I do teach alignment of body, soul, and spirit, it's really that spirit leads, our soul, which is our life, our mind, will, emotions, talents, those fall under the spirit. And then our body is last. And it falls under alignment of the spirit too. Not that it's not important, but that what drives us is our spiritual connection first, and that should take it. And it's the same with health. And that's why I teach it that way. But securing a good exercise routine and selecting the right foods is so important. It's kind of like a cornerstone, right, in our health, because if we are taking our exercise and our nutrition seriously, and by seriously, I mean just being mindful of it, putting a little bit of effort in. I'm not coaching women that want to go up on stage and be bodybuilders. Like, that's not who I'm talking to, because there's a lot of work and specifics for that. But I'm just talking to the mama that wants to be as healthy as she can, manage her day, manage her time, and just thrive. So with that, it's just taking those things and making those a cornerstone, because once you start exercising, if you have high cholesterol, if you have high blood pressure, these things are going to start trending down naturally into your normal realms. That's what my degree talks about and teaches too. So it can also help with your blood sugar levels if those are out of control, your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your mood, and it also helps regulate hormones too. So we know as women, and especially in this baby having phase and just all of that, they can really fluctuate. So to help regulate those as well, to help regulate your stress levels, this is where exercise comes in. As you start to move your body in any way, whether that's walking or running or a weight training routine, whatever it is that you enjoy, dancing, Zumba, however that looks, you will start to reap so many benefits. That's why I kind of call it a cornerstone habit. That, along with reading your Bible daily, are some things that like should not be missed.
Yes, I love that. There's so much good stuff in there. I can't wait to go back and re-listen to this.
Yes, please.
You've given me so much to think about. I feel like a light bulb is on with a lot of it. That's awesome. Do you have anything more to say to my listeners here?
Yeah, it's, if you are really thinking like, hey, Kelsey, this is resonating with me, like I want to kind of like get started, I have a great freebie on my website. It's right there at kelsey-bryant.com, and we'll keep that in the show notes. And you just click on the big red button that says, I'm ready, help me. And it's a great jumpstart guide to defining your health and really just opening up your mindset of, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing mindset, and giving you permission on how to make health really your way and in this season to meet your needs. And that's just a free resource that I'd love for your listeners to have if they're ready to kind of take the next step and say, hey, this is important, but I need a little guidance on how to get there.
Awesome. I can't wait to take a look at that. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Brittany. I appreciate it. I'm always giving out more advice like this and free tips on my podcast, the Fit Christian Woman Podcast. So thanks so much for having me, and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for listening today. If you could do me a quick little favor and rate and review this podcast, that would mean so, so much to me. And also, if you could screenshot the episode you're listening to and share it on your social media so that other mamas can find the same episodes and learn the same things you've learned. That would mean so much to me, so much to the whole world. Thank you so much for making the world a better place.